crafters, welcome back to my channel, Margaret Knob Designs, where paper meets creativity. Finished up the album, so I'm going to do a walkthrough now and show you some of the additions to what I did. Nothing that I did really requires any teaching or training. It's basically just about matting. So I'll show you how I finished everything up. You saw the cover yesterday, we finished that up, and I talked about that I made some of my little doodads at the end of my ribbons so that they don't fray, and they're just, they just hang, they keep the ribbon hanging down as well. And then I took some flowers from my stash. I have some Graphic 45 here and some Prima and some Prima. And then the wires are from Graphic 45. I just took what I had and added to that. The ribbon on here is from Country Craft Creations, as everything else is from the flowers actually might be from Country Craft Creations as well, because this is a design team project for the store. So getting into this a little bit, our album again was 6.5 by 9 3/4. 9 3/4. Our spine was 2.5, and the back again is, I ended up putting that paper on the back that I had shown you yesterday as well. So I like to put something on the back. I know there are some crafters that I've seen that just leave it plain cardstock on the back, but I don't know. The back to me is just as important as the front. And what we'll do, this also, what we're going to do is go through it, but I wanted to tell you this also is a soft spine so that it will make the book open more flat. And as we add things in, it'll fill out on itself a little bit more. Probably the next time I do this kind of an album though, when I do it, I think what I'll do is I'm going to make these gussets on the album probably at 1/4 inch. I think I might have a better turnout. I thought this might end up being a bit fatter, but I guess I'll determine that once I get everything, all the pictures into the album. So let's go through that and let's take a look at what else we've got in the album. So we open it up like this, and as I showed you yesterday, I just made a small booklet in here, and I don't have this matted, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to or not. It depends upon the types of photos that I'm going to be putting in there. And oh, one other thing I should share with you, we did cut out behind these booklets or tags in here, and then I took a photo mat that we can put our picture on there. We've got our lace from Country Craft Creations there as well. And then on this side of the page, I ended up adding a flap on here because originally I wasn't going to even put any magnets or anything on this page because it was laying flat enough. But I was having some issues with my punch. These punch pieces were getting caught on the lace, so I ended up putting this over here right where it was getting caught on the lace, and it's pretty much after I got this paper down. So I have the magnet here, and I have a small magnet underneath this ephemera as well. And this is a piece of ephemera from the Blue Fern Jane's Memoirs collection, and this is a part of the paper there. And as we open up this side, you can see we put a photo frame down in here. I left it partially open on the back and just a spot for my this small photo mat, or I can add other photo mats in there. And then I also added a piece of the ephemera here that I can actually take and tuck something in. The reason why I put this here was because with this was glued down on top of my hinge, was glued down on top of my paper, because again, I did the hinge and everything afterwards. So I just added a piece of ephemera there, a nice little tuck spot. Then I added a frame up here. This is a die cut frame from, oh my goodness, it's from Waffle Flower. And then I added a piece of the ephemera in the frame, because this can be left as is, or a picture can be put in there, or a journaling place could be there as well. All right, and if we close that up, there is also side pockets in here, and I have not put anything in there yet because I'm still trying to determine exactly what I want to do, because I don't have a lot of paper left from the collection. I've used a lot of the paper in the book, and so I'm going to wait and see as I finalize a couple other things. So on this page, this is the back of page 1, I have a flap here that I added a piece of ephemera onto the middle of the back. I also matted one of the, this is one of the cut apart cards from the paper that looks like it has tags and different items on it. And then I added another frame here, and I have a stamp that gives me some lines. So it could be some journaling or just a notation about the day. And on the back of the flaps, we see that we've got some photo matting. This is a piece of that ephemera from the large page of tags, and some of the ephemera pieces. This is an ephemera piece, and I just matted it, the rest of it, with the collection. And then this closes down. This actually can go on top of that, or it can go underneath. On this page, we did this as 3 pockets on the page, and so I just matted a piece of the paper. This is one of the mats from the large cut apart page, and then this is one of the cut apart pieces and some paper for putting that in. And you'll see that there is, the paper was cut all the way going up. I didn't have one that was quite long enough, but I felt because this tag also was going to be in here and it was going to be up quite high, you wouldn't notice it quite as much. So put these back into here. One of the things that I did too, just so that you're aware, this pocket ends right about here, but this top pocket goes all the way down to here, and then of course this pocket goes to here. So there's a lot that can fill in there. On this spread, when we pop this out, this is just the paper, just to be able to look at the design and the beauty of that and the flowers. Here is one of the other frames that I put down from that waffle flower die, and pieces of the ephemera, and all of these are left open so that photos can slide underneath those as well. Those are just glued to the frame, but they're not glued on here. Right? And then if we turn the page onto here, my flowers are making this wobble a little bit because of the flowers on the front. So we have a double spread here again, and I didn't do much in the way of flips and flaps, but just the regular flips and flaps that there was. And you know what, I'm going to do something. I'm going to throw one of my punches underneath there, because it's just because of the flowers in the front. So here we did a double mat, and this is the paper that was on here, the frame, piece of the ephemera left open so that a picture can go in here, and same thing with these cards here, that's left open for a picture to go underneath that. But just the beauty of the flowers and the flower story that is being told on this page is just beautiful. And that closes with a magnet. On this side, took a piece of that paper. This paper here is the same as this paper over on this side, and they're just cut in half essentially. And on the inside of here, piece of the ephemera I put on here, photo mats. These are 4x5s. And then another piece of the ephemera. And this is left open so that pictures, or it could be used as a tuck spot to tuck in a tag for the album. Again, there's so many of these spots in here. We can put a photo across here. We can put a mat in here. I just didn't want to cover up the beauty of the paper as I went along. And then if we go to the last page, the last pages, oh, there we go. There's a flap on this side. And I actually did some matting underneath this flap. Piece of the ephemera. This is from one of my stamps I had. It's actually a graphic 45 stamp, and so the little bit of journaling can be done there. And then of course the photo mats. And these are 4x6. This was a 4x5. And on the back cover, this is, I wanted to do something a little bit different in the back, a little bit more of a collage. This was a really nice paper on the cover, or the back cover, but it wasn't, didn't have huge floral areas on it, so I felt that I could put a little bit more on there. Piece of the ephemera here. This is a photo mat tag. Oh, come on. Just fits under there. Pieces of the ephemera I had put down there, and just a really small pocket just to give it a little bit of dimension to the page, and you know, to make it look a little bit different angles and different views on the page. So that is our album for Blue Ferns Jane's Memoirs. Blue Fern is just an awesome floral collection. I have put the links down in the bottom of this video so that you can easily click on that link to get to Country Craft Creations to find the supplies and the items that you need for making this album. Just a couple final things is that I use the Artisan Cardstock in the olive green, and then the burgundy Artisan Cardstock is for my double matting. And if you are in love with being able to double mat and really give some solidarity to your albums, the Artisan Cardstock, there's nothing better, and you're only able to get it at Country Craft Creations. And the paper that I used, which is kind of like a cloth paper, that is a Tonic Studio out of my collection paper that I used for this collection. So thank you so very much, and I just so appreciate you watching the videos, commenting below. And one of the final things is that I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. So just asking you to like and to share and to let others know that I'm here. And 1,000 subscribers is big because it's just the one step over for your YouTube channel. And I will be having a giveaway after I hit my 1,000. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that if you are subscribed for my channel, that it is a visible subscription, meaning that it has to be a public subscription in order for me to see that you are a subscriber, because it'll be just for my subscribers, the giveaway. Thank you so much, and I'm going to be off for tonight, and you have a great week ahead of you. Thank you so much. Good night.